Hi and welcome. Welcome back. I'm really thrilled to be here with Melody today. Melody's, you and I met in New Orleans at a workshop about 5 years ago and done some studies over time, and then you were in the Passing the Torch program last year, and that was just wonderful, wonderful to be with you. So Melody is a Pilates teacher, yoga teacher, and Thai bodywork. Bodyworker, yeah, Thai yoga. And we've been doing exploration. We came in for an immersion in really deepening our work together. And we've been looking at a deepening of what is set up. What does it mean to find that relationship to ground, to really feel grounded, centered, and how does that allow lift, natural lift to happen? How does that allow natural connection to happen? And so I've asked Melody to say a little something about just what that's been for her as, you know, studying Pilates and yoga and that, and particularly bringing it into an exploration we did today around sitting meditation. We don't really think of, you know, how everything relates to everything else. So let me just say from your experience.
So the experience today, or just overall since we've been together?
I think just building on how, you know, you see Pilates, yoga, and then how that relates to what we did today around, you know, something that you do all the time, which is sitting meditation.
Well, when we met, I was in between two movements, two ways of teaching movement, how to teach yoga and how to teach Pilates, and was really looking for a bridge. So I really felt in my God said there was one voice, there could be, like, how can this be easier? Like, and how do you not have to, do I not have to choose, and I don't know, just something that was more aligned and harmonizing. And so with your experience and your background, and I really felt like your approach to Pilates was a kind of a yogic approach to Pilates. It just spoke to me, and so the past 5 years, learning the little pieces of you know, of the language and how to understand it in my own body. So really the Passing the Torch program deepened that understanding, not from an intellectual place, but really from just a sensing and feeling place. So the value in that is, I mean, priceless. There's no having the intellectual knowledge, which I really love. I love knowledge and information and how everything works and science behind everything. I'll never give that up. But the coming and just letting me learn more through the experience, and that deepening, that understanding has helped me, or guided me to teach my students to have their own experience, what we were kind of speaking about earlier, because you have guided me to have my own experience and what that is, and what does it feel like, and what does set up feel like, what does sitting on one blanket or one mat or two, how does, you know, why do we change the setup? Why do we need a block? Why do we need the props in yoga? Right? Why? It's not just not to look better aligned, but to feel better aligned. And so, my Pilates practice, it's very grounding in the sense of especially on the apparatus, that weight and feeling and sensing. I'm able to feel more received by my environment, and that awakening of how there's an internal support and how the core naturally awakens, and the value in that in a yoga mat practice is incredible. I mean, the way that I'm able to move in my yoga practice is much different because I pay attention to my feet more, and how I am setting up. But it's the simple things like sitting that sometimes I may not pay attention to fully for myself. And so what we did together today, with just feeling the difference in being on one mat versus two, and breath has been something that's deepened for me greatly. It changed breath, which, you know, you always talk about that, how we're grounding and set up, and how breath, and it's all connected, and that was huge just now. I almost cried because I really felt like I did need that little extra lift support to settle and to open and to be received as a being in this world, and feeling my right to be here. So how, you know, movement, you often say movement is, you know, something that we are, it's not something we do, but even, you know, sitting for me is, often we think of it as something static, right? But it is movement when we get in touch with the breath. So
well, it's so beautiful. Thank you. How you wove things right there, and I want to anchor something that you just said, because and to bring in something, because the other piece that, as you've been following the breadcrumbs that you shared with me a while back, is that you've gone through your finishing or completing a 10-session series of rolfing, and so to put in those pieces that continue to awaken our way of enlivening ourselves.
And understanding, too, that deeper understanding of the interconnectedness.
That's right.
Yeah.
Makes available a new awareness of how your setup will change, so that you're then, you know, or what's a new awareness that comes forth of what is a complete breath for me that may not have been there before. So that we want to really acknowledge that was so beautiful that came present for you out of, you know, this is a new potent place for me.
Yes. And I don't know if you've noticed that since we were together last in February, and then doing the rolfing series and today, like just how more in touch and in tune I am with noticing.
Right.
Being able to notice so, and then, you know, the Thai yoga body work is another, you know, it's just another piece of where, you know, where could I offer support, either with my hands or with, to, you know, where a client may not be opening, you know, how to give them support, you know, and let them have their experience again, you know.
And I'm going to bring that back to the more that you're in your own direct experience of feeling like your body feels more balanced, more open, your touch is going to be coming from a new place of whole body awareness. So what Melody and I have been really talking about and being with today, as we explore on the yoga wall, hanging, moving hands like that, and whole body awareness. How does the yoga wall relate to Pilates? We know that profoundly, but then weeding it all back. How are we following the breadcrumbs of the body's direct experience of its relationship to gravity, relationship to space, and how does that relate to any discipline.
Yes.
And
these are just perspectives. That's what I find, like the yoga wall that I have in my studio, when I'm playing with upper core, right? How it can be just a different perspective if it's not working for them with the weight, with hands in the straps on the reformer, taking it to standing with hands in the apparatus, and you know, Joseph's vision with having different pieces of apparatus was different perspectives of,
That's right.
of the cores and the interconnection.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I feel like it's just a different perspectives speak to bodies at different times.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So we just wanted to share with you the beauty of how the following the breadcrumbs, how that can relate to Pilates, yoga, meditation, how there's a deep conversation that's always being interwoven, and are we really paying attention to how we're setting ourselves up in a way that we feel not tell me how to do, or tell me how to be, tell me what to do, but rather, am I being empowered? Am I enlivening my awareness?
And can I share what
Yes.
what I got to experience? So I was on just one mat, and so sitting here, my ribs feel like they're kind of a little bit kind of collapsed, and I can feel a little tension in the back of my neck, but kind of to sit up and to breathe, it feels okay. I mean, it's not uncomfortable, but then you noticed something. You noticed a piece, and when we changed to adding the extra mat, right? As soon as I sat up, I instantly could feel breath, and back body, the back and front body connect, and my head just felt more free. So that extra lift allowed me to just yield and be in that receiving and connection and alignment, is what we're in, alignment.
Beautiful. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Thanks.
Yeah, just exquisite.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you. See you soon.